Question number 4, what ethical decision-making standards have you employed in the past in high-stakes decision-making situations? Please give a specific example or scenario. First of all, let me say thank you for asking the question. I strongly believe that ethics is more important than knowledge, connections, or parliamentary skill when it comes to being a good member of the school board. I truly appreciate the question. For me, I look at two things. One is the consequences of an action. If an action increases the well-being of our students, our community, our staff, our teachers, our district, then it is good and right. Number 2, I have to look at the duty placed upon me by the state of Minnesota and the district through both statute and policy. So it's those two things, the consequences of the act and the duty which I am obligated morally and legally to uphold. An example I would point to was my early opposition to litigating the findings of the State Department of Human Rights. That was based on my knowledge of historic discrimination in the Valley, which I think is really capsulized in the report put out almost 20 years ago now from the Department of Justice. I also looked at the trend lines that were being put forward by the department and found myself in agreement, even though I disagreed with their use of bad data and their failure to recognize things that we already had in place, which I feel will benefit the non-white students in our district. And thirdly, I looked at what the potential result of litigation would be, and I feel it would have been fruitless and painful for our community and our district. So I advocated pushing back against any unreasonable demands made by the department. I advocated pointing out their errors in data and asked that the administration point out what we were doing right for our students. But I wanted to find a compromise. I wanted to find a way to move forward, a way that could allow us to bring in external ears and eyes and allow us to really live up to our responsibilities to make sure that every child in Moorhead gets an equitable and quality education.